Stop. Don't buy that Pix package or all access. Wait, what? Yep, don't click add to cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.
Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today, the world's best daily sports betting show. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers. And if you've never listened to this show, stay around, guys. You're going to laugh. You're going to love. You're going to learn. We talk sports betting. We do it for 45 minutes. And today's show, Dave Cokin, right off the top of the show, he's going to talk about the Hurricanes and Rangers. It's game 5. The series is tied 2-2. He's going to discuss the Rockies and the Nationals and the Royals and the Twins. Of course, every Thursday, Ralph Michaels joins us. He's got a chart. Today he's going to look at MLB chart. I don't know what he's going to look at, but we'll find out. He's also going to give us a strikeout prop, an NBA bet, and a college football bet, Teddy. And Andy Lang at the end, all car racing. There's 3 massive races this week, Teddy. There's the Formula One, IndyCar, and NASCAR going, and Andy's got stuff for all of us. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Cashed again with another 5% big ticket last night. 15-2 with the last 17, 13-2 for the season in the NBA. 41-14 with those 5% big tickets dating back to last May. So been a real good calendar. Don't know how many calendar years I'm going to have that are better.
41-14. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, 41-14.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, glad you noticed.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you know what? Even though I did know, and even though I tried to set you up so you could say it again twice, and then when I give you credit, pretending I don't know so that we can talk about it, you piss on me. Does it ever end?
It's what I do.
Does it ever end?
Never. As long as you want to do the show with me, Prez.
Wait.
You flick my ear, my friend, I'll flick yours.
What? I want to do the show, so I have a choice in this?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting tomorrow, Steve Merrill, Lawrence Presman, WagerTalk Today. Please join us. Teddy Covers, congrats on your 5% play, bro. And nice timing, because I have a 5% play up tonight. I also have a coupon for you guys. Notice Teddy didn't have a coupon yesterday. I have one for our dear, loyal, loving, luscious, and wonderful listeners. How many alliterations did I get in there? NHL 10. That's $10 off of my 5% play tonight. Use the promo code NHL10 over at WagerTalk.com. Dude, what did you learn last night in the wonderful world of sports betting?
Oh, goodness. So, I don't know if you heard about this. The handicappers are still out there. All right. And we saw it in Florida yesterday. Corey Zeidman, a 61-year-old from Boca Raton, Florida, arrested on federal charges to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and mail fraud, conspiracy to commit money laundering, et cetera, et cetera. This is a long-time scam using names like the Gordon Howard Global and the Ray Palmer Group. And these are your classic radio ads leading to boiler room phone calls. You know, the Zeldman and his co-conspirators for 16 years were placing ads talking about they had privileged information about fixed games that it got from physicians and television executives. And people came in and paid money for those plays. And obviously they lost a quote from the special agent in charge. As alleged, Zeidman preyed on individuals who were led to believe he had inside information that would lead them to easy money. In reality, he was selling nothing but lies and misinformation, bilking millions from victims along the way. leaving their lives in financial ruin and their bank accounts empty. This was going on 25 years ago when I moved to Vegas. It was part of the reason I moved out here, was a scam like this that really pissed me off, that people were able to get away with it. And the fact that it's still going on, it's a little bit frustrating, Prez. We sell plays, just like those guys do. Absolutely true. I'm never telling you I got inside info. I'm never telling you I got someone in the locker room, and we're always accurate about our records. There's a world of difference between the handicappers and legitimate pick sellers. Hopefully, these guys will go to jail for a long time. What about you, Prez? What'd you learn?
Teddy, wow. Listen, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. I was focused largely on what went down in Texas. But can you just slack me the name? Because I'm golfing today, but tonight I want to read about that. It actually fascinates me, and it's funny because the CEO of WagerTalk is Rick Alec, and Rick and I have been very good friends for about 30 years. And I started a handicapping company called Who to Bet On back in 1999. I ended up selling it in 2007, but I remember saying to Rick, and in 1999, 2000, 2001, etc., that was like the core of this sort of scamdicapper concept. And I remember saying to Rick, man, I'm leaving a lot of money on the table here. Why can't I bring myself to ask my clients for 30% of their winnings? Why can't I call my clients on the phone and tell them that I have a secret VIP play that I'm only giving out to people with the first name that starts with J, and I'm charging $5,000 for that play? I used to lament to him that my morals are getting in the way of my bank account. But you know what, dude? I'm 53 years old now, and I feel good about that decision, because it was Teddy, no joke, it was one of the reasons I entered this industry. I was sitting around in 1999, and I was trying to figure out how to get into the internet, and I knew I was a sports bettor, and I'm like, I didn't understand the sports handicapping industry because I'm Canadian, and it was really a big thing in America. So I started studying the industry, and I realized, my God, everybody is getting scammed. I then put up a website. I tried to hire an accounting firm to audit the records to show people how truthful it was, but the industry was so bad at the time that no accounting firm would go near me. So I'm with you, man. It's that shit that led me to this industry, and it's that shit that has allowed a company like WagerTalk to rock and roll. But guys out there, I'm just going to tell you two quick things, and then we're going to bring Dave Cokin in. The first is, if you answer the phone and it's a handicapper on the other end, hang up. The second thing is, if they ask for a percentage of your winnings, hang up. And lastly, I came up with a third thing. If they change the price on you in the middle of a hot streak, get as far away from them as humanly possible. I know Dave Cokin is going to add to this conversation, because there's very few people that have been around longer than him, and he was right in the mix of this when he started out. He saw it all, man. All the scam legends. Dave saw them all, and lucky for us, Dave never took the bait and remained an ethical, moral guy. Dave Cokin, what do you have to say about this conversation?
Well, the company in question, they advertised on sports gambling shows all over the place, including on the station that carried the Las Vegas sports line.
Yep.
Matt Humans and myself, however, we owned the show, and we told Notice, look, they cannot advertise on our show. Okay, you have to block them out 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after. And as soon as which they did, and then the ads would start running again. They'd be like 3-4 minute ads where one of the station's personnel would actually have an interview with whoever the spokesperson was. They change their name every year and still have the same spokesperson, which right there is a kind of a tip-off. Here's the one thing on inside information that I've always told people. look, I've been around a long time, and it's not like the old days because I don't know as many people. My contacts have gotten old, okay? And I don't know the younger guys. But I used to get, on occasion, inside information, particularly in college basketball, particularly in California teams, where I had one great contact. He knew all the assistant coaches up and down the West Coast. But I didn't tell people what the information was. If you actually get inside information out of the game, you're not telling anybody what the information is, and you're sure as shit not going to sell it for $25.
Yeah.
So these people who fall victim to this, it's not all on the seller. It's also on the buyer. It's like, don't be stupid. Okay.
I'm going to disagree, Dave. I'm going to jump in there
tough.
because I'm not an idiot. Okay, I'm a college graduate, and what I heard in my local radio station in Michigan was my local DJ interviewing a scandicapper, and me not knowing it was a scandicapper, and I'm like, oh, let's try. And that experience, much like Prez's experience, was so bad that it literally led me into the injury, saying if guys like this can make money, shit, I can actually pick winners, and I'm not going to scam people. Maybe I can make money too.
But isn't it common sense? Isn't it common sense that if somebody says, I've got information on this game, and I'm willing to share it for you for free, no less, why would you possibly believe that?
Yeah, and I'm
serious.
Question,
I understand.
That question. I'll answer the question flat out, and it leads me into what I'm watching on TV right now. I'm in the middle of I'm on season 1, episode 5 of Peaky Blinders. Really enjoying it, and the Peaky Blinders concept set in 1919. It feels a long time ago, Dave, but it really isn't. And they were fixing races. They were fixing horse races, Dave. They were fixing horse races, and they were fixing horse races for hundreds of years. So the concept of I have inside information is not it's not new, and people
all right, let me ask you something. Okay, let me ask you something. In this show where they're fixing the horse races, they're going out and telling the general public about it?
Yeah, that's a good
point. Of course not.
That's
look. I've told this story where I made a lot of money on this, on a horse named Canistical. I don't know, it was 74 maybe, where I got inside information on a race that was not, the race itself wasn't fixed, but the horse running in it was a maiden special weights race at Narragansett Park. The horse running that was listed as Canistical wasn't Canistical. It was a pretty good horse out of New York that they brought in as a ringer to steal a purse, basically. And I only got the information because somebody involved owed me money. And it was like, okay, can I clear up my debt? All right. And it won, by the way, and it went off 7-1. I didn't tell anybody about it. Okay. First of all, that would have lowered the return on it. Oh, hey, listen, I want to make less money on this horse, so I'm going to tell you about it. Teddy, I will say this. Maybe I'm more maybe I was more street smart involving gambling because I've been around it my whole life. So I know most of this stuff is bullshit. Most of it's bullshit. And that's why I've never said I've got insider information on the game, because if I ever do, you ain't getting it, okay?
Dave, we got to move on, brother. I got a hard
stop
let's go. Today. I'm golfing with my dad. He's 78
years
old. Who knows how many golfs?
At 78, everything's a hard stop.
Yeah. Hurricanes versus Rangers tonight, Dave. 2-2. Look, I mean, this has been the series of home teams, and not only that, Carolina, I don't think they've lost at home in the playoffs yet. I don't think they've won on the road yet. So,
nope.
How are we handicapping this game? Who do we bet?
I guess I'd look at I was looking at Carolina. I guess now I'd look more toward the under, because the price has gotten really high on this. Because and here's some inside information for you: the home teams won every Carolina Hurricanes hockey game so far in the playoffs. So that's I guess it's not inside information. That's 11-0. So you want to go against that? Not me. But everybody's betting it that way. The price now is what, 160, 165? I don't want to lay that much. So my original take on the game was Canes, but if you didn't get there early with it, it's too late to bet it now. And look, Shesterkin has gotten really hot, and we know what hot goalies can do. I mean, there's no more important position in sports, in my opinion, than playoff goalie. You get hot playoff goalie, you ain't losing. So I'll lean to the under. I don't think I'm going to bet this game. And since I wanted to give out a game that I was going to bet on, I am going to make a small play on the over in the Flames-Oilers game. So there you get a selection from me. It won't be a big play. It's just a 2%. But I'm going to play over 6.5 in the Flames, in the Oilers-Flames game. Why not? The whole series is going over.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to just continue tonight.
Yeah, and it makes sense. And the under in the Rangers game. I mean, look, these are 1 and 2 best defensive teams in the league. They've gone under every game. I mean, don't overthink this. Dave, Colorado against Washington in baseball. Coburn on the mound for Washington minus. Well, I mean, it's close to a pick 'em. It's anywhere from minus 108 to 111. The 8 is the total. How you betting this game?
We'll call it a lean on the Rockies. And I can only make it a lean because, number one, some of their road numbers, their weighted runs created plus against righties on the road is 75. It's pretty bad. Meanwhile, the Nationals are not very good. Nationals are not very good against it's weighted runs created against lefties on the road. Corbin is a lefty. Washington not much against righties at home. They do see the fastballs well. They've got a good batting average against fastballs. But I'll still lean Colorado here. Marquez, I think, is showing signs of getting on track. So you might want to buy in early on him. His numbers are still not good at this point. He still had some rough outings, but I watched his last start. It's like he seems to be commanding his pitches now better than he was earlier in the season when he was missing in the middle constantly. So I think I'm going to try and slip in early, small stuff here, but I'll lean to the Rockies to get a win at Washington tonight.
So I want to ask you, the Rockies won. What?
I was saying I'm going fast because Prez has got a hard stop or a hard on something.
Well, we'll get Prez out of time, off the show in time. But this is a Colorado team, 6-12 on the road this year. Yep. Last year they were 26-54. So literally for the last 2 years, they've lost 2 out of 3 road games. Can you play on them on the highway especially with? I understand Corbin's bad and the Nats don't win back-to-back games at home. There's plenty of reasons to bet against Washington, but is Colorado backable on the highway with this consistent failure, Dave?
Not really, which is why I only it won't make my card. But I'll still lean. You want to? No, I wouldn't go full. I wouldn't go first 5. I think
Dave Cokin having sound issues, at least in my ear. Oh, there you go, Dave. You're back. Dave, let's move on to the next game. We got the Royals and the Twins playing tonight. Lynch versus
I'm going to reboot here for a second.
Okay, you reboot.
Yeah.
One of our listeners, Teddy, Chris L. So I shouldn't buy Vegas Dave's Super Goat Whale Mega Max play.
Okay, I might be back. Awesome. I'm not sure. Everything looks like it's frozen.
Dave. But that's awesome. Yeah, if there's 6 adjectives before a play and it's in the title, that would be number 4 to run as fast as you can. Dave, are you there, my brother?
No.
Dan, let's move on from Dave. We love him. Yeah. He was going to play the over in the Royals-Twins game, first 5 innings. The over in the Royals-Twins game, first 5 innings. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. Teddy's Big Game Breakdown. We got Ralph Michaels. We got Andy Lang, the daily presidential address. This show has literally just begun.
Teddy covers is 94-44, cashing 68% of his tickets since 2001 with his famed Teddy Covers NFL Win Totals report, a 20-year track record of success. In addition, Teddy is 15-3, 83% winners with his 5% big ticket plays, cashing with the Chicago Bears under last season as his 5% big ticket best bet. This package includes each NFL season over-under bet with the type of detailed analysis you expect from Teddy, primed to pay dividends all season long. Get on board for the low price of $1.99, or better yet, the support is 100% free for Teddy's full season football combo or NFL seasonal subscribers. Documented over 55% over the last 7 full seasons, counting every play, every day. Get on board with this proven profit producer and cash in.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. And look, I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel every day. We're coming right back with the Atlanta Braves today. It's a big game breakdown after yesterday's W. And right now, looking at the WagerTalk live odds screen, I'm seeing this a true pick'em right now. There's been Phillies money early today, minus 105, minus 110. Should be playing at a 10 shop in MLB, not a 20-cent shop. But let's call it minus 105 right now for Atlanta. This is an action wager, even though we want to bet against Aaron Nola. But what I said yesterday, all right, Atlanta's finally starting to hit. What'd they do? 8 runs, 13 hits, 7 walks. Not like the Phillies' pen is in great shape. But, the Phillies got Aaron Nola on the hill today. Well, he's got a 64-10 strikeout to walk ratio. All the advanced metric numbers say Nola's great. Except for that, the Phillies are 0-8 in his 8 starts since the opening day. He has high pitch counts of late. He's not eating up innings, and he's given up too many home runs. Last year against Atlanta, Nola, 29 hits and 15 runs allowed in 30 innings at work. Wasn't like he shut them down. And Nola's a home-road dichotomy pitcher. One of the few guys who's better in Philadelphia than elsewhere. This year, last year, the year before, really since his 2008 dominant season, he's been much better in Philly. Yeah, I understand Acuna's out for the Braves. Are not likely to play. Hence, all the Phillies money this morning. But at pick'em, no comparison. Give me the Atlanta Braves. And there's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy Covers, thanks so much, man. Your big game breakdown makes my day. You know what I love about the show? The amount of love I give you. That's my favorite part of the show. Just,
Yeah, me too.
Just, hold you in my arms. I'm spooning with you right now, Teddy. I know you can't feel it, but I can. Okay,
I don't want to feel it.
I know you don't want to feel it. I know. What can I tell you? Let's bring Ralph Michaels in. Ralph, how the hell are you, dude? Not only that, but oh my God, are you ever rolling?
Yeah, well, I did lose a 5% last week, so down to 21-3. But in NHL 5% today, what am I this season in NHL 5%? A perfect 10-0. Number 11 goes tonight.
Nice. Way to go, Ralph. I'm going to go look and see what the play is while you're talking. Hey, real quick, we are up against it, but you have anything to add on the scam decapper conversation we were just having?
No, if you're having it, you're wasting your time. Don't pay attention. You guys know where to hang out. You guys know what to look for. And what some people pay for a play is absolutely obscene.
Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, there's people out there selling plays for $500 freaking dollars.
Take the over.
I want to make mention, Jake Couples, he writes, Prez, I took your advice and went to my backup account and followed WagerTalk. Jake, that's what we want, brother. We have now reached 97,000 subscribers. Chucky, Yoshi, Schnitzel, Schmo. That's a great name, by the way. The rest of you guys, Philip Dunway, haven't seen your name. Thanks for joining us. Words, John, Joey, set up another account. Sign up twice. Thank you, guys. Well, you got a chart. I hand the mic to you.
Well, last week we talked about a situation that came up, and Teddy asked a great question. It was about final game of a series, day game or night game? Well, I was going to do a chart. When I broke down the information, there wasn't that much of a difference. So I do want to mention it for those that paid attention last Thursday. When I looked at final game of a series in night games, 48.3% of the games went over. So 51.7% went under. In a final game of the series in a day game, it was a 1.1% difference. So 47.2% went over, 52.8% went under. So there was a 1.1% advantage to the under playing final game of a series in daytime action. Not enough to do a chart. But Teddy, we talked about it. Clearly there's probably some situations, though, where I could have found a little higher number based on what the totals were or what the lines were with a favorite or dog.
So you're throwing at me, Ralph, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to ask here. Because
is there anything there that you would want me to do a deeper dive on? If a total's 7 or lower, if a total's 9 or more, when I'm talking, you were talking about final game of the series, daytime action.
Well, one of the things that stands out to me, and something that Prez and I have talked about here on the show, is lowest totals staying under, highest totals going over. I'd be real interested to see a chart what the 7s, what the 6.5s, what the 6 look like.
That would be great.
Versus the 10.5s, 11s, 11.5. So that's one that has some interest for me, because the concept, of course, it stems from football, where if you bet the 3 highest totals over and the 3 lowest totals under in the NFL for the last 20 years, it's been a profitable endeavor. We're wondering if that's the case in baseball as well.
Well, I'll break it down in the final game of the series if that's the case. But clearly, there was a couple times last year, Prez, I know you and I have talked about it, where we've seen the 6.5s and 7s have a 55% plus to the under range. So clearly, when we're talking unders, when we did the overs, we broke it down into non-Colorado games and the rest of the league because of the Colorado high totals. But we'll break that chart out next week. But I do have a chart real quick. It's simple. There's not much we got to talk about. I posted this on Twitter. It's just year to date what teams have done against righties, profit-wise and over-under-wise, and what they've done against lefties, profit-wise and over-under-wise. Again, just a bunch of information there for you to dissect. But if, Dan, you would throw up the second chart, I did pull the top and bottom teams versus righties and lefties and over and unders. So the one number that pops out to me, look in the bottom right corner, you'll see the top chart above WagerTalk is versus right-handed starters. The bottom chart is versus left-handed starters. Take a look at the bottom right. Prez, your Toronto Blue Jays are 0-8 over-under this year when facing a left-handed starter.
Yeah, well, Ralph, my Toronto Blue Jays probably are under all the time, given how silent their bats are. I mean, this is a team that is in last in the league in getting runners to cross that plate when in scoring position. So, not happy. But we're going to discuss the Toronto Blue Jays in the daily presidential address, and I got some interesting info on that. So, guys, give us 100 thumbs up, please, so we could actually have a daily presidential address. Ralph, German Marquez. I thought I did that well. You got a bet for us on him.
Well, I just started doing some K props. Obviously, Matt Joseph has done it. JM Sports started doing an article every day at WagerTalk now for K props. And I've been doing them for a week or so, and I've had some fun doing them and showing a little bit of a profit. They're very light plays for me. I'm posting them as 2%, and I'm posting them in my all access and as free plays. But you look at, Dave mentioned earlier, he saw Marquez having much better command of his pitches. I saw the same thing. We're getting Marquez over 4.5 strikeouts at a plus price. It was plus 110 when I posted it. It's plus 102 now. He's averaged 25 Ks his last 4 starts. Washington striking out 9 times at home versus righties when they've had 7 or fewer hits before. I do agree with Dave that Marquez is handling his pitches better. I'm going over 4.5 Ks. And Teddy, you and Dave talked about Colorado Rockies on the road. They're 6-12 this year. Let's not also forget They started 4-1 on the road, so they're actually 2-11 their last 13 games. But again, here I'm just looking at the pitcher prop.
Do you worry at all that Marquez is coming off his highest pitch count game of the year? Or at this stage of the season, we're seeing a lot of hurlers in that situation. But he did throw 100 pitches for the first time, the last time out.
But he's gone 6-6-6. They're going to be happy getting 6 innings. Those 25 Ks in the last 4 games are averaging 5.8 innings per game. So I think he's going to get to the 6th inning. And if he gets there, my numbers are based on him in that sample size, which is something always important when looking at a K prop.
Ralph Michaels, everybody, exclusive to WagerTalk.com, one of the greatest handicappers ever and a better human being. Ralph, we got a basketball game going tonight. Golden State -7 against Dallas. It's a closeout game. How do we bet this one, my friend?
Well, I'm going to go first quarter, and I've had success with Golden State. When they are off a loss, they come out firing in the first quarter. 30 points, 28 points, 30 points. And what happened last game? I'll tell you what, Mike Brown went to the 2-3 zone, and Dallas made adjustments, and they basically ate him up. 50% shooting, 46% from three-pointers. Golden State, the previous 10 games in the playoffs, allowed under 42%. It's adjustment time. Yes, they'll stick to the 3-2 zone. Excuse me, I said 2-3. Yes, they'll stick to the 3-2 zone, but they'll make adjustments. Steph Curry said we had an overload. They burned us. It's not going to happen again. I completely agree with that. Golden State is coming out fired up. I'm going to take them first quarter. And a lot of times when I'm playing first quarters, I like taking the money line. But this money line is so inflated at -170. I'd certainly clear away with that. So I'm going to play Golden State -2 in the first quarter in tonight's game.
Ralph says, look at the Warriors in the first quarter against the Mavs this evening. Ralph, I love to death that you put this up. You wanted to talk some college football. And this line is already moving. If you want to get the best of the number on a number that it stood out to you, it stood out to me. We'll see if it pans out on September 3rd. But this is a number that if you want to get the best of it, now's the time to do it. Talk to me about Rutgers and Boston College. 9 a.m. Pacific kickoff on that opening weekend of college football. I'm already jonesing for this one, and it's not even a marquee game. Tell us about it, Ralph.
Well, Teddy, first let's mention the WagerTalk free odds screen, wt.buzz/odds. You have college football lines from 6 different places. The Circa now has a side and total play on every line, week 0 and week 1. I remember 8 years ago, Teddy, they used to not put totals out for college football games till Tuesday morning. Gotta love what Circa's doing. Gotta love what everyone else is doing with these early lines. I'm looking at Rutgers. She's talked about the line move. It was +8. There's still a few +8s out there. I'm happy with the +7.5. But what do I love about this Rutgers team? Well, we've seen Schiano come back to where he's coached before and had success. A couple years ago, they were one of the worst teams in college football, getting outgained in the Big Ten by over 250 yards per game. Then they got better and went to only -113 yards per game. While the numbers last year didn't have a huge improvement, the difference was this. He played his freshmen. He has talented freshmen. His recruiting classes, they went from 64 3 years ago to 41 to number 33 this year. Guess what? There's only 4 Big Ten teams in the top 25. Rutgers is almost among the top 4 recruiters in the Big Ten. No one looks at that, but New Jersey has a ton of talent. Then you look at going to the Gator Bowl. Well, you say, hell, they had a losing record, and they lost in the Gator Bowl. Do you know how important those 15 extra practices are for a new head coach? People don't think about that. Everyone talks about spring practices. You get 20 practices in the spring. When you make a bowl game, you can have 15 extra practices. Another huge advantage. They have a second-year starting quarterback, or they may go to Wimsmith, a freshman who didn't burn his red shirt but played in the bowl. The offensive line is much improved. 4 transfers on the offensive side, 3 with starting experience is really going to boost that. And then you look at the schedule. Why is it important to look at the schedule? Well, Rutgers has Wagner on deck. They're going to be a 40-some point favorite. Boston College has Virginia Tech on deck. Their ACC opener. Yes, obviously the opener is very important, but you can bet assured they're going to be spending some time in August looking ahead to that first conference game. I'm not knocking BC at all. Great quarterback, good defense. They may have one of the top 3 or 4 defenses in the ACC this year, but I'm going to take that generous point spread with Rutgers, one of the most improved teams in college football.
Ralph Michaels, outstanding work. Guys, real quick, I took a peek at Ralph Michaels' 5% play. Keep in mind he is 10-0 in NHL 5% plays. It is a different play to mine. So might I suggest you grab both? And you are well taken care of for tonight's NHL card. Ralph, man, thanks, dude. Anything real quick?
Thanks, guys. Nope. You guys have a great weekend, and everyone have a safe and happy Memorial Weekend holiday.
Amen.
Excellent stuff. Andy Lang joining us. Andy, it is the best race day of the year right in front of us. We have Formula One, we have IndyCar, we have NASCAR. There's a hamster race out of Florida, a gerbil race in Wisconsin, a wheelbarrow race in North Carolina. It doesn't end. I am sure there are horse racing somewhere. I'm in a race to finish the show. So go.
Well, yeah, it is the best racing day of the year. And I love it. I get up on Sunday, have a couple Bloody Marys, watch the Grand Prix of Monaco. Then we have the Indy 500, which is about 10 miles that way. And then you got a 600-mile NASCAR race in the evening. It's pretty crazy. So wanted to do a race-themed some free picks in each one of these races. I'm going to do this is a really different one. So we'll start with Formula One. We'll go in chronological order. Take a look at Charles Leclerc, fastest in first practice. First practice is Friday morning, Eastern, 8 o'clock time. Teddy, Eastern time. You're always quick to make sure I point out what time zone it's in. So you can grab this one. He's been fastest in the first practice in 4 out of 5 races, including last week. And last week was important because all the cars did all their updates to their new packages. And once again, fastest in practice 1. Red Bull is going to be the cars competing with him in practice. They don't like to show their cards early. Take Leclerc fastest in practice. Next race, we got the Indy 500 and Scott Dixon. He's the favorite, and he's a favorite for a reason. And we're going to take him top 5. He had the fastest qualifying time ever for a pole position winner at the Indy 500. His team looks great. They're first, second. They've got Jimmy Johnson and Marcus Ericsson on that team as well. And this race is interesting because it's going to come down to the last pit stop or two. It's going to come down to if there's a caution that gets involved with some of these pit stops. But this is an exciting race because you don't want to be in the lead with 10 laps to go. You kind of want to be in third or second. There's a lot of drafting, and you'll see guys that are in second, third kind of tuck up to the leader. So look for a pass late. But I'm going to take Scott Dixon top 5. He's the fastest car in the field. As long as he keeps it clean, he's going to be running in the top 5 all day long. And then we're going to move to the ridiculous 600-mile NASCAR race. There's no reason we should have a 600-mile NASCAR race, but we do it, and we're going to bet Chase Elliott over Martin Truex. Chase Elliott has these certain tracks that he just loves and dominates, and this is one of them. They race at Charlotte. The last 4 races at Charlotte, Chase Elliott's average finish is 2.3, and Martin Truex is 11.3. So we're going to take Chase Elliott over Martin Truex. Honestly, there's not really a reason to watch the middle part of this race. You can watch the beginning, and then you can just watch the last 100 laps, kind of like I do. You want to take a little break. So, so racing, just starting out, we're going to take Leclerc in the morning, and tomorrow morning for fastest practice, Scott Dixon top 5 at the Indy 500, and then Chase Elliott over Martin Truex in the NASCAR race.
Teddy, I'll throw to you in a sec, but I just want to wish Wager Talk a massive congratulations. I mean, there are fewer, bigger compliments than when spam bots enter our chat room. Naked HD something or other wants private part pics sent to them. I'm so warm over this, Andy. I cannot tell you. I mean, do you understand? These these spam bots don't pick a chat room with one person in it. You have to achieve incredible success to have these chat bots enter the room. This is a big week for us. We have had these chat bots in all week. I am privileged.
Based on a couple of their things, I think we tipped them off with inside information because it looks like they got a lot of information about insides.
The craziest thing is what kind of sales pitch is send dick pics to girls? Like, oh yes, finally, I have random girls that I don't know I can just send my private parts to. Like, don't underestimate what men will do. I mean, is there anything more that a guy loves than inside information from a stranger? Stock tips. Well said. Anyway, one of our listeners said
stock tips from a stranger, sports inside information from a stranger. We love this. So.
Oh, you're getting all the buzzwords. Tomorrow's going to be just spam bot day. Anyway, Seth S. Yes, we know it's a bot account. Teddy, you set up that NBA, and then we'll call this a show.
We had
Ray Liotta
Michaels
died
earlier talking about the Golden State Warriors in the first quarter for tonight. You're going to talk about Kevin Looney and what we can expect from the Warriors' big man this evening. What do you like in terms of Looney props for Thursday night?
Oh, he's been great in this series, taking his points over. Went over in the first 3 games in the series. He's a bad matchup for Dallas inside. The last game, we had the crazy blowout. He only played 20 minutes, and so he finally had an under on his points. But the books have his point total at 7.5 points. I look for a nice comeback game for the Warriors, and when they're up, they love having Looney in there for rebounding purposes. All of his shots are high percentage. They're right at the rim. I'm not too worried about last game. There was a lack of minutes, and it just looked like Golden State wasn't engaged on that. So I'm going to come back and play him again tonight in a nice rebound spot. They lowered his point total from 8.5 to 7.5, so I think we're getting nice value there. Take Looney over 7.5 points. And just a quick plug, my race package is up now on WagerTalk.com. It's going to have plays from all 3 races. This will be the biggest race package I have all year. You're going to get plays from all 3 races, and we've hit 60% exactly in 2022 on race plays. We're having a really, really good season. So join us. Memorial Day is such a great day to bet on racing, and thank you guys for having me on. Love it.
Andy Lang, everyone. Guys, I just got news Ray Liotta died in his sleep, 66 years old. And really a guy that had an indelible, left an indelible mark on our generation with his performance in Goodfellas. So, rip Ray. Teddy covers. Andy Lang's Prop Shop is up next, 1 p.m. Eastern. It's him and Ariel Epstein. You guys don't want to miss this. It's the king and queen of props. So stay with us. We got another show at 2, at 3, at 4, at 5, at 6. It never ends at WagerTalk.com. Daniel's son, cue me up, baby. Let's go. Okay, guys, it's time for your daily presidential address. I've got 2 baseball bets to give you, but before we get into that, I just want to make mention, I have one of my 5% plays up tonight. You guys have all been following my 5% plays. They win at an incredible rate. I'm not going to get into it all, but it's a must-play bet. I got a promo code for you guys. It is NHL10. That is NHL10. You get $10 off of my 5% hockey play. Make sure to grab that as well. Ralph Michaels has a 5% hockey play in NHL. It is a different play, so you are totally covered if you grab both. As for your free picks tonight, I love the Blue Jays tonight, guys. I have not been on the Blue Jays for a while. Their bats have been super silent of late. They've been a tough team to bet. But they are on the road tonight facing Ohtani, an incredible pitcher with unbelievable velocity, and they are around plus 140. The reason I like the Jays tonight, well, firstly, their bats came alive yesterday, and one thing about goal scorers or hitters, that stuff is in streaks. I think we're going to get a much better offensive performance from the Jays. And the bottom line here is this Jays team in the last week has faced the highest velocity of pitches of any team in all of baseball. Every pitcher they have faced in the last 7 days is throwing the ball in the high 90s. Yesterday, Jordan Hicks in the high 90s. They are seeing the ball well. They are used to the speed. This is the time for them to beat Ohtani. Next, Dodgers -1.5. What more do you have to say than that? Dodgers -1.5. Of course. Anyway, that's it. Use the promo code NHL10 for my 5%. Teddy, I'm going golfing, baby. Take us home.
Well, enjoy your golfing, Prez. That's going to wrap it for the Thursday edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank Dave Cokin, Ralph Michaels, and Andy Lang for joining us as guests, and I want to thank you out there in listener and viewer land for taking time out of your busy day to spend with us here on Wager Talk Today. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, you know what to do. Enjoy the games, and good luck.
Teddy Covers is 94-44, cashing 68% of his tickets since 2001 with his famed Teddy Covers NFL win totals report, a 20-year track record of success. In addition, Teddy is 15-3, 83% winners with his 5% big ticket plays, cashing with the Chicago Bears under last season as his 5% big ticket best bet. This package includes each NFL season over-under bet with the type of detailed analysis you expect from Teddy, primed to pay dividends all season long. Get on board for the low price of $1.99, or better yet, the support is 100% free for Teddy's full season football combo or NFL seasonal subscribers. Documented over 55% over the last 7 full seasons, counting every play, every day. Get on board with this proven profit producer and cash in.